Team of Teams is a series of 4 webinars starting in November, aimed at developing a more collaborative mindset across our practices. The term Team of Teams comes from the military, but it can easily be adapted for other large and complex organisations like the NHS. It was first coined by General Stanley McChrystal in response to the failings of the US's elite Special Task Force in Iraq, a grouping of specialist units who independently were very effective, but together were relatively ineffective against a non-conventional and ever-evolving enemy. To be successful, the task force needed to fuse generalist awareness with specialist expertise. Adaptive intelligence and shared consciousness became the cornerstone of the task force response. This meant letting go of any unhelpful conventions and enhancing the way teams work together to share information, solve problems, make decisions, and support one another for the sake of the overall mission. Within the complex system of community healthcare, great teams will need to adapt in the same way. This cannot be achieved through the efforts of one team alone. Rather, it'll need to be a function of how well all of our teams come together. As simple as this should sound, it is a very different way of operating, and to be successful, we will need to think differently. That's exactly what this series of 4 webinars is about, helping you and your team make a real difference in establishing this interdisciplinary approach. My name's Charlie Unwin, and I'm delighted to be hosting you on these webinars. My background is in the military and elite sports, serving as a platoon commander in Iraq in 2004 and training with the Great Britain Olympic team in Bath. Now, as a performance psychologist, I've been privileged enough to train some of the best individuals and teams in the world, including multiple Olympic champions, England and Premier League football teams, military special forces, fighter pilots, surgeons and musicians. Taking a robust and practical approach to the complex challenge we face as a community of practices, I'll be exploring 4 principles of success for establishing a team of teams, using, where applicable, my own first-hand experience in other industries. These principles form the 4 webinars, which are as follows. Webinar 1 introduces Team of Teams. Here we establish the concept of one team and what it means for us on a practical, psychological and a professional basis. Webinar 2 is about connected thinking. In this webinar, we learn how to create a unified purpose to give us consistency in how we prioritise our goals, solve problems, make decisions and visualise success. Webinar 3 is connected people. This principle is about enhancing lateral relationships between teams in order to build a culture of collaboration and trust. And finally, Webinar 4, Shared Leadership, which explores the challenges of being able to influence one another towards the best outcome without formal authority, whilst learning together with a healthy balance of support and challenge. I hope you and your colleagues will want to join me for these webinars. Please sign up using the link provided, and I very much look forward to seeing you at the first one.